Jack, thank you so much for giving me your time today. How have you been?
Thank you for having me. I've been great, really looking forward to have another fight booked in, and I feel great at the moment. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you're in Houston, obviously ahead of your fight at UFC 262 against Edmen Shahbazyan. When did you arrive in Houston and how have you been settling in?
I arrived. Let's see, it's Wednesday. I've been here for about 5 days, and I was in Atlantic City 17 days as well, coaching my friend in the PFL. So I've been in the States for a while now.
Nice. How have you been? What was the travel like over? Obviously, things are still not 100% back to normal, but I know in Houston, things are pretty much opened up now, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. So here in Houston, besides wearing a mask, everything seems like normal, and it's kind of liberating, since it's a full lockdown back home in Norway. So it's nice to come here and enjoy a little bit of freedom again.
Yeah, and of course, UFC 262, you're going to have a full crowd in attendance. Are you excited about that? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm super excited about that actually. It's gonna be, I think it's 17,000 sold tickets. It's gonna be something, and now I've been fighting two fights without a crowd, and I feel like the nerves are creeping up on me when I think about that again. The whole building is gonna shake when I get in there, and it's gonna be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to the crowd's reaction after my win as well. That's a special feeling that I've been longing for.
Yeah, and does it give you a different type of energy when you fight with a crowd compared to fighting without one?
Oh yeah, it's like night and day. It's such a huge difference, Of course, the pressure is bigger as well. You can really feel it when you get in there. So it's a big difference. But yeah, if I can choose, I prefer to fight with the crowd, even though it's less pressure, without them. But it's just something special about it.
Yeah, so very different to your last fight, obviously back in December. Obviously you fought Marvin Vettori in the main event, but there was a lot going on in the run up to that fight with falling out of opponents. And I remember talking to you before the fight, and Darren Till had fallen out, and I think you got Kevin Holland, and then Kevin Holland, I think, fell out literally like the day after our interview. Uh, so that
Well,
must have been crazy, like a real roller coaster for you. What was that like dealing with that?
yeah, it was. But at the same time, I was, after all the COVID stuff, you were kind of used to new situations all the time and new messages all the time. So I was kind of prepared and ready for that in a way. But the fight itself, it was a tough fight. I broke my orbital bone in the first round, and I had double vision for the whole fight. So it was really, really hard to fight under those circumstances, So, yeah, it is what it is. It's a part of the sport. It can happen to anybody. So, and unfortunately, it was my time to get an injury in this one. So, but yeah, the only thing you can do is to look forward and do better, in the next one and get back into that place again. I can see Vittori has the title fight now, and I'm a little bit just jealous about over that.
Yeah, does that light a fire in you seeing him, fighting now for the title against Israel Adesanya?
It drives me mad. Yeah, I'm happy for anybody, and I'm happy for him as well. But for sure, I want to be in that situation. I want to be in that position.
Yeah, of course. And how do you think he does against Israel Adesanya?
Marvin is extremely durable, and I think he can get Israel tired. So he can do pretty well. But at the same time, I feel like Israel is he's a little bit too crafty for Marvin. And so I believe that Israel is uh, gonna win and yeah, still be champ.
We saw Israel
What?
Adesanya go up in weight to challenge Jan Blachowicz. What do you think? What did you think about his performance?
Well, he did good, but I'm even more impressed by what Blachowicz did because he basically fought a fight that would fit Izzy pretty well. He fought him on the distance. He fought him in his own game, and I was very impressed with what Jan could do there. So I didn't expect that kind of fight at all, and yeah, so I don't take anything. I think it's more like how good Jan did that I was impressed over than how Adesanya did. But he ended up on bottom in that fight, and I could see how well Jan did on top there, on top of him, and I believe that I could do the same if I fought him. So that's something that I was anticipating in the fight. So, but I didn't anticipate Jan to do that well in the stand-up.
Yeah, and obviously that's another thing I was going to say as a grappler. Did that give you, a little bit of insight? Like we said, obviously you want to get up to the title shot. Does that open up
Yeah.
some different questions for you?
I was 100% sure of that. Israel is a stand-up fighter. If he was, as good on the ground, you would see him take more of his fights to the ground, but he doesn't. He wants it in the stand-up. That's his game, and I'm sure that he's working on his ground game and that he's getting better. But it will probably never get on the level as that his stand-up is in. Uh, so I believe that he can train as much as he wants, but if he fights me, he's going to be in big trouble if we end up on the ground.
Yeah. And you said, of course, about your injury. How long did that take to recover from after the fight?
Well, yeah, it was just like some weeks ago when I did my last medical check where I was kind of all right. So they really took a long time to recover from. So yeah, so yeah, it was a bit long road without sparring and other stuff that could interfere with it. So I had to train around it for a while. So, but
Um,
um,
in terms of the recovery, then, has that affected anything in terms of your preparation going into this fight against Edmen?
no, I don't feel so. There's so much you can do without the sparring. So I feel like I've been preparing very well. I feel like I'm in great conditioning, and I feel calm and collected. And I think I have the tools to win this fight. So I have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, nice. And what did you think when they put forward Edmen to you? Obviously, he's just suffered his first loss. He was undefeated for quite a while. Were you happy with this matchup?
Yeah, I was happy with it. I was just, it was me reaching out to the UFC saying, "Hey, I'm ready to get back into business. Who do you got for me? Do you got anybody in the top five? Nope. Hey, do you have anybody in the top 10? Nope. Okay, who do you got? We got Edmen Shahbazyan for you." And I was like, "All right, let's go. Let's do it." I need to get back on a win streak, so. Coming off that loss, I'm not very picky. I just want yeah, a good fight. And I think even though Edmund is coming off a loss, he's 11-1, have a good record. He had a lot of hype before that Brunson fight, so I think it's a good fight.
Yeah, and what do you think about the style matchup as well?
The style is perfect. I think that I have some strength on the ground and in the wrestling, and he's more of a stand-up fighter. So yeah, think it's a good matchup for me.
Yeah. And in terms of, what you can expect, obviously you're both going to be wanting to get back into the win column after suffering losses. What do you think you
Wow.
can expect? How do you think that fight goes down?
I think we can expect a high-paced fight. I think we can expect fireworks. I'm super excited to get back in there. I'm extremely motivated, and 17,000 fans is gonna, I'm gonna give them something to cheer for. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. And is there extra pressure because you obviously want to, climb back up the division, your goal is obviously to fight for the title. Is there any extra pressure on you to get back into that win column?
The thing is that I'm putting all the pressure in the world on me for every fight, and I don't think it can get any extra. It's always there. The pressure is enormous because I want to become the best in the world, and when I take uh, a wrong step like in the last fight there, it hurts so bad, and of course I want to get back into the win column, and yeah, so the pressure is always there.
Yeah. So with a win at UFC 262, what do you see next for you? Are you looking that far? Have you set any goals or aspirations?
I want a big fight after that. I was set up with Darren Till before, but preferably I would love to fight a higher ranked guy like Paulo Costa or something like that. That would be a great fight.
And I remember you've mentioned Paulo Costa to me before as a fight that you've always been interested in. Why him?
Now he's right up there. He's high, he's ranked high, and it's nothing about his style or anything like that. I think he's one of the toughest fights out there. So it's definitely not that. I think it's a really, really hard fight. But he's up there. I think Whitaker is also one that I want to fight, but it seems like he's gonna just be sitting and waiting for the next title shot or something like that. We'll see. But whoever is available and is up there, yeah, I'm ready for them.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you back in action at UFC 262 against Edmen Shahbazyan. Thank you so much for giving me your time today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.